Hi everyone, I'm Kim Ganassin. Welcome back to the table, our meeting place on the vibrational universal fabric. Well, today's a big day at the table. We're going to start a new series where we're going to talk about dimensions, okay? Second, third, fourth, fifth, and this shift that many of us are contemplating. I want to talk about those things. I want to talk about them from the perspective of what I've seen over my 20-something years, actually a lifetime, of being conscious in more than one dimension at a time and bringing information back with me. Okay? I got a few things to say about the dimensions. So I'd like to start right now with a story, a true story that that happened about a month ago. So that would be the end of February 2018. You might remember, if you saw my last video, I was yearning for home. It was a concept that was in my mind and deep in my heart and deep in my being. I was searching for home and it was just dominating my thoughts, right? So what happened was, my source, my one source, which happens to be blue, came to me across the fabric, filled my being, and said, create a solution for this yearning for home. Use whatever you have. You are free to create a solution to cure your heart of its yearning and to create what you want. Do what you need to do. Well, I had to take the blue thing up on that invitation because it gave me a chance to review the tools that I have and create a solution for myself. And it goes like this. I dropped onto the fabric where I know the space around me is a workspace. It's a sketch pad, right? It's a computer game. I can simulate things in there. I can make a dimension for myself. Okay? So that's what I did. I created a workspace which was its own dimension. And I gave it 1, 2 dimensions, right? It's in a 5-dimensional space. I gave it 2 dimensions, and I started conceptualizing what I wanted for a home. And it included, you know, a 1-story structure on a big piece of land in an area that's not too hot, and it had high ceilings on the inside, lots of big rooms, and lots of 90-degree angles. I don't like crazy little angles in my space, my living space. And, you know, beautiful wooden floors, a giant kitchen for creating meals for myself and my friends, and big workspaces for myself to work with 3-dimensional objects like a workshop, and then also a creative space for moving the body, and lots of dogs and cats and friends, loved ones. Okay? So that was my concept of home. I put it up there in my workspace. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, if I'm going to be going to this place and I'm going to be in there, I better conceptualize myself, because I sure don't want to be the same Kim whose heart is full of yearning and pain for something that she doesn't have, and fear that she might not ever get it. I need to conceptualize myself feeling released of that anxiety, you know, released from yearning, released from that feeling of emptiness on the inside for something that I need, you know, released of that relentless need to search that had me even on the other side when I was lucid, searching for landscapes on the other side. So that searching thing, I needed to feel like I could rest from that. So I conceptualized Kim as cured of all of the pain of not having that. And I conceptualized myself as being fully able to completely receive the satisfaction of this home down deep into my being, so that every single little muscle in my body would just relax and ground into it, receive it, and start doing what I want to do in that space. Okay? So here we were on the fabric, which is the fifth dimension. I created a dimension in which I could sketch out my home and myself having received the home. And they were both there. And I sat back and I looked at it and I said, yeah, that's what I want. Happy me in that beautiful space. And so I entered into it. I took this dimension, this picture, I made it from 2 dimensions to 5, and I became one with it. I brought it to me, I brought me to it, we became one, and now it's a reality. Now it's a reality. On the 5th dimension, which is the fabric, I have a home now. And I'm hoping, I think, that I can channel that down to my 3D body and create it right here in this 3-dimensional world, the 3rd dimension. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? That was me doing my thing on the fly with dimensions and creating dimensions, going into dimensions, creating dimensions, filling dimensions with 2-dimensional, turning it into 5 dimensions, putting myself into it, and holding it there on my home in the 5th dimension while I'm sitting here in 3rd dimension talking to you, and you're watching me in 2 dimensions. Wow. Contemplate. And I'll see you next time with more discussions of these dimensions and our relationships to them. Thanks so much for being here. Take care.